Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Erik Ten Hag has his heart set on a move to Manchester United. Ten Hag is learning English. Erik Ten Hag tells Ajax he wants to leave at the end of the season. Now, revert back to earlier on this season, Ralph Rangnick and Richard Arnold said they want Erik Ten Hag to become Manchester United's next manager. And a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see Ten Hag become the next permanent manager. I think if Erik Ten Hag became Manchester United's next manager, he would suit the strappings of the club and he would be capable of winning trophies. Ten Hag has not yet managed in the Premier League, so it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. He's developed the young players well. He's won a couple of Eredivisie titles with them. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. He's been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. Ajax appointed him in back in 2017. His contract expires next year. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves. And before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Now, I want to give you some more news on Mauricio Pochettinho. According to the PSG director, Leonardo, Mauricio Pochettinho has not asked to leave PSG amid Manchester United's interest in the manager. It said Pochettinho is the favourite to become Manchester United's next manager, and not so long ago Manchester United held talks with Mauricio Pochettinho. Revert back to the other week, reports from Spain said that Pochettinho rejected Manchester United as he's waiting for Real Madrid. It said Pochettinho is expected to leave PSG at the end of the season. Pochettinho's been the PSG manager for over a year. His contract at PSG expires next year. He has won a French Cup with PSG. Pochettinho is a good manager even though he's hardly won anything. He's managed in the Premier League before, which is beneficial because before he endured a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham. Back in 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and at one point he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager. Tottenham made a bad mistake sacking him at the time. Before Tottenham managed Southampton, he only endured a short managerial tenure with Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far. A lot of years ago, he managed Espanyol. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Manchester United should have got Pochettinho then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. Yesterday I gave you the news on Carlo Ancelotti. It said Carlo Ancelotti has emerged as a candidate for Manchester United after being recommended by Sir Alex Ferguson. Real Madrid are more than happy with Carlo Ancelotti and they have no plans to part ways with Ancelotti. So Ancelotti won't be Manchester United's next permanent manager. Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. You know, Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson, even though Manchester United are not really known as a sacking football club. The managers were sacked since Ferguson were sacked David Moyes. After 10 months, Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite us winning the FA Cup under him. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Like I updated you recently, it said Manchester United paid out 10 million in compensation to Solskjaer and his coaching staff after getting sacked in November. Ralf Rangnick has been ruled out becoming Manchester United's next permanent boss. Earlier on this season, it said Rangnick wanted the permanent Man United job. Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for around 3 months. He's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Rangnick's managed nearly 20 games in all competitions as Manchester United's interim manager. I've got to give Rangnick credit because earlier on this season he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Rangnick has endured 1 transfer window as Manchester United's interim manager. Unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in the January transfer window, and he actually got promised at the first that he was going to get backed. Man United endured a very poor January transfer window because Manchester United did not make any signings. We should have let Lingard and Henderson leave, but we blocked their exits and we had the incident with Mason Greenwood towards the end of January. We loaned players out back in January. We loaned Donny van der Beek out to Everton. We loaned Martial out to Sevilla. We loaned Amad Diallo out to Rangers. We loaned Ethan Laird out, Tuan Zabi went out on loan and Teden Menga went out on loan. So around 8 players left Man United in January. Ralf Rangnick's aim for this season is for Manchester United to finish in the top 4. But finishing in the top 4 this season would not be a successful season for Man United. Top 4 is now in doubt anyway because not so long ago Manchester United drew 0-0 against Watford and Arsenal have 2 or 3 games in hand over Manchester United. The only chance Manchester United have got of winning a trophy this season is the Champions League. I'm very sceptical we'll win the Champions League, so it's going to be another trophyless season for Man United. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Rangnick, he's inheriting players who other managers have brought in. So none of this squad is Rangnick's. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. And we have spent over 1.3 billion in the last 10 years. The Glazers, we've got to get them out, because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16 and a half years. The Glazers bought Manchester United for 500 million back in 2005. It was good news from a Man United perspective that Woodward stepped down earlier on this year, because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Obviously, he was responsible for the poor recruitment and that. Ed Woodward was at Manchester United for 17 years. Earlier on this year, Richard Arnold replaced Ed Woodward as a new chief executive. Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and like I've said time and time again, no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club, so in that aspect, Man United have got to accept that. Alex Ferguson was the greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United because he won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson retired nearly 10 years ago. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reasons he did that is because they're both Scottish, and at that time Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. In the summer of this year, I am expecting Manchester United to make signings. Man United are on the hunt for a new striker. We also want a midfielder as well, because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. The players, I think, will leave Man United in the summer. I think Dean Henderson will leave. Dean Henderson is our second choice goalkeeper. He doesn't really get in goal because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. Earlier on this season, he got arrested for abusing his girlfriend. And earlier on this season, he was out with COVID for a while, was Henderson. Revert back towards the end of last season, he got the number 1 jersey. And to his credit, he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson has got that experience behind him because he did endure 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. And Henderson's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Phil Jones and Erik Bailly, I'm expecting them to leave Manchester United in the summer because they don't really get in the team. Phil Jones, he started against Wolves at Old Trafford earlier on this season. That's only because Maguire picked up an injury. He was our best performer against Wolves at Old Trafford. And that was his first Premier League appearance since January 2020. Jones came on in the cup game against Middlesbrough. At one point, Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. His contract at Man United expires next year. This season has been his 11th season at Manchester United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Revert back to January, Romano said that Jones rejected a move to Bordeaux. Prior to that, though, it said Man United and Bordeaux had reached an agreement for Phil Jones to go out on loan in order to get more playing time, and reports from France said that talks were at final stages. But Rangnick said he was happy for Jones to stay in January. Erik Bailly is a very good centre-back, Bailly, but he doesn't get in the team. He lost his place in the team a while ago and he's injury prone, which is a concern. Back in April last year, Bailly signed a new contract to Man United until 2024. We brought Bailly in under the Jose Mourinho era. Manchester United got Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016. Manchester United paid £30 million. Bailly's been at Man United over 5 years now. Man United could look to sell Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka in the summer because I don't think they're good enough to represent the club. Harry Maguire was dropped against Watford, surprisingly. Maguire is Manchester United's captain, and Rangnick's already said that Maguire will remain Man United's captain until the end of the season. But earlier on this season, there was a lot of Manchester United fans demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire. Maguire has been at Manchester United over 2 years. Manchester United paid £80 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's the most expensive centre-half in the world and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. And he's had a few injuries as well, Maguire, since he signed for Man United. Wan-Bissaka, he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick, but Bissaka has played the last few games and to be fair, he's done well. I think defensively Bissaka's good, but the attacking side of his game lets him down. You know, this season has been Wan-Bissaka's third full season at Man United. Man United got Bissaka from Crystal Palace, paid £50 million for him, got him back in the summer of 2019. Matic, I'm expecting him to leave in the summer. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. He did play against Watford recently, to be fair, he put an impressive performance out. Matic had a shin injury not so long ago. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Matic has been at the club for over 4 years. Manchester United got him from Chelsea back in 2017, got him in a deal worth £40 million. Lingard, I'm expecting him to leave in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Lingard doesn't get in our team much. But surprisingly, he started against Leeds at Ellen Road. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy in that. Like I said, he should have left in January. Donny van de Beek and Martial, I'm expecting them to leave in the summer. Good chance Pogba will leave Man United in the summer because Pogba is out of contract in the summer. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba would be open to Premier League offers if he leaves Manchester United this summer. But earlier on this season, it said Pogba would be open to staying at Man United beyond the end of his contract. Pogba's got a good relationship with Rangnick. Pogba's not done too good in his last couple of games, but he's done well in all his other games since he recovered from injury. Pogba's endured a few injuries since he re-signed for the club, so he is injury prone. Manchester United paid £89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive sign at the moment. This season has been his 6th season at Manchester United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far and he's played over 200 games since he re-signed. Ronaldo, there's a good chance that he'll leave Manchester United in the summer, especially if Manchester United fail to finish in the top 4. Don't forget, Rangnick wants to replace Ronaldo with Victor Osimhen. Rangnick has doubts about Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is out of form at the moment. He's only scored 1 goal in his last 10. The last goal Ronaldo scored was in the 2-0 win against Brighton, but prior to the game against Brighton, he didn't score in his last 6 games. Well, Man United have already said that they'll allow Ronaldo to leave in the summer. Ronaldo is the best player in the world overall. You know, he's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Since he re-signed for Man United, he's scored 15 goals in all competitions. He has over 800 goals in his career. Manchester United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. His contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives nearly £500,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Juan Mata are expecting him to leave in the summer, and Cavani will leave in the summer. So there you go. On my next video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against Manchester City. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.